Hey.
Hi, everyone. It's so weird because now we're so used to looking at
I know.
the camera, and so now we're just going to be looking at each other.
It is weird.
Yeah, and I'm used to just looking at the camera and being like, "Hey."
Yeah, but I thought that was kind of a little strange
I
how
thought it
we
was
had
strange
it,
too,
you know, because I'd be talking to you about whatever,
but
but
looking,
then
yeah, yeah,
looking
yeah.
at the camera. So now we can look at the camera still if we want to, but I think this is more.
Yeah,
But we're going to have to get used to it because I want to keep looking up there. And look, see, I kind of have to because look, this just went.
blurry. Well,
We
you could
had,
just. Why is it doing that?
no, no.
I mean, you can like just basically every now and then like look at it just to see if it's okay.
Yeah, there's like,
This is
some
a new setup we got going on.
slight, yeah, sorry
New
for
setup.
everybody that's just listening. We have a new, we
So we're trying to get
literally
used to
turned the
this.
whole room around and it's more of a direct facing type of
It's
thing.
more of a conversational platform,
Yeah.
you
Which I
know?
like better, but we just have to get used
I
to
like
it.
better too because I feel like I really get into it more when I'm really like,
Mm.
it's like a debate. Now I'm now I'm on the debate team.
You're on your side and I'm on my side.
What are we debating today?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Well, before we get into that, actually, I know that was a loaded question, but
Yeah,
before we
that
get
was a
into that,
lot.
just so now it's freezing here.
Yeah,
We're cold. It's 36 degrees.
I know, Reiki.
I already feel my tonsils getting inflamed from the cold. I'm drinking tea. I'm gonna have to gargle with salt water. I'm gonna have to gargle with salt water tonight. Oh,
My
Marge.
tonsils. But did you do all your teeth work already?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I still have, but that's
I
so
think
my
that's part of
jaw.
it.
I think my tonsils are swollen because my jaw.
My tonsils are slightly, there's little something going on, but that's because I have to do that like deep cleaning in the multiple quadrants, which I'm doing after Thanksgiving.
Mm.
But I think after that it should be fine because once I did the one that was really bad, that shit went away for a while. But because I still need to do the other ones.
I don't know. I feel like I need to go to another specialist for the TMJ thing because I went to that one guy. He did all these tests and he was like, "You're fine." And I'm like, but I'm in pain all the time."
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the day that I went, suddenly the pain wants to not be there.
Just gonna fix your microphone.
What's wrong with that? Oh, so suddenly the pain wants to not be there. The clicking wants to not be there. So now he's like, do all these things and there's nothing. He can't. And I'm like, this is just, he can tell that there's a disc, that the disc is not aligned because it
Mm-hmm.
came up in the x-ray. But I was having a good day. And then he just like sent me away with some PT. And I'm like, I'm not doing physical therapy on my fucking jaw. Give me something. Tell me something.
Well, you have to. That's like.
I just want like, isn't there a surgery or something
See, you
that
want
you
that
can
quick
just
fix.
go
You want that
through and
fucking
just,
quick.
and then it's like I could actually not have pain.
How long do you think it took for you to have TMJ in the first place? Like your body to do all that.
I'll tell you when I got
attention.
TMJ. I got TMJ and it started.
It wasn't like one day.
No, it all started about 4 days before our wedding. Because that's when I started getting my arthritis for the first time ever in my life.
Maybe you're stressed out.
That was a stressful time. Weddings are stressful.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, it probably took a lot of things and time for that to get to that point where all of a sudden you have TMJ. So to get rid of it is probably going to take physical therapy and
right.
time.
And I feel like I've been doing physical therapy on my own. I'm always massaging it. I'm always doing these mouth things. I sleep with a frigging mouth guard. I do all these things that I feel like if I get there, they're going to be like, oh, do the same shit. And now I'm paying you when I could just do it on my own. And my jaw is still so.
Now you started to think like me.
but it's true though, like, I mean, I have a patient who has the same issue and I'm listening to her journey and I'm like, what the fuck? I should be getting, like, she has the same thing I have. And she finally found this one doctor who like totally is amazing, did everything, figured everything out. And they're doing this like this microscopic kind of like surgery thing. it's not through cutting anything. They literally just go in with this like tiny little thing, and then they just kind of move the disc, and then they put it back together. But it's all really fast. The whole thing takes like 20 minutes, and there's no slicing and dicing.
Let's just go to her dentist.
He's in Florida,
Oh.
which she was willing to give me the information, which I still might take, and then just go in Florida.
Right.
It all has to be out of pocket anyway, so fuck insurance.
I just want to do a quick check because once again, we just modified the studio here. If whoever's listening on Instagram, can you hear us okay? It's probably a little bit weak, but anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to take time probably.
It's annoying. So that's that. And then I do want to address I want to know other cultures. I'm interested to know if and what those cultures are. So like for example, like my mother, we are Hispanic, we're Puerto Rican, right? And my grandmother, I remember that whenever I would go to her house and let's say she'd make dinner, which was all the time, right? And whenever I would go over to the house and be like, "No, I'm full. I don't want to eat," she would cry. And it was like this huge, really like intense thing. Like we fucking hurt her feelings, right? Well, my mom, I just told you, recently did that today. So Thanksgiving's coming up, as everyone knows. And my mother's really not the best cook really around. And
I wouldn't say not the best. She just doesn't really cook a lot. That's all. Yeah.
but I think in her mind she does. Like in her mind she thinks she is good, but like she's not really that great and she doesn't really make good rice. That's for sure. And so what ends up happening
So blunt.
I mean, but this so I'm going to tell you exactly how I said it. So Thanksgiving's coming. We already have gave everyone what they're making, right? So Catherine's making something, you're making the turkey, I'm making something. Christina was going to make the rice and the beans.
Yeah.
Because she's an amazing cook. Well, I'm on the phone with my best friend. My mom overhears this conversation and then she's like, "I'm not making the rice." And I was like, "Well," and in that moment I was like, "Okay, I can lie again and basically say, Mom, you don't have to make anything. Just relax. Just, da, 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 da," which is what we told her last year and the year before because she brought that up and remembered it. Okay.
But I thought we had already said
No,
like,
we never did.
hey, and
We
then
never
she
did.
was like, yeah,
No,
I'm not.
never
I
did.
thought she was okay with it.
Never did. Or I can just tell her the truth and have to no longer lie about this anymore. So I told her the truth and I said exactly like this. I said, Mom, I didn't want to have this conversation now on the phone with Catherine, but we don't really like your rice. You burn it at the bottoms.
Awkward.
And I didn't think there was anything really wrong with that. I think that's just but she got like really like sad about it. And then
you know why I think, and maybe we should talk to her about it, because really that's her contribution.
it's her way of right. I know
So
that.
maybe we just find a
but this
different
is why
way
I'm
for her to
saying this is why I'm asking if there's other cultures and individual because I feel like it's such a traditional Spanish thing too. Like it's like rude almost, like if you don't eat their food or if this or if they make it, like stuff like that. And when I was with my friend just a couple hours ago, they're Jewish, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's such a typical Jewish mom thing also." So I'm wondering if it's like culturally and like what other cultures you find that in.
Probably specific people though too,
Or maybe just like the older generation.
I wouldn't even say that because actually, I mean, a lot of the older, usually the case is the mom does know how to cook bomb ass rice, right? So nobody says anything about it, right? But I think your mom can cook good rice. I think she just doesn't pay attention while she's doing
She
it,
doesn't pay
and then it
attention. That's a good.
overcooks.
She doesn't pay attention. Yeah.
Because I feel like I've had one that was like when she makes it, I'm like, oh, this is good, but then like it's too on the bottom of it, it's all like burnt up.
I know,
I'm
she
like,
gets
why
the
is it
burnt.
always burnt on the bottom?
And I'm like,
it doesn't make any
stop
sense.
burning it, right?
All right.
Her beans are not good.
Yeah.
It's basically like a can of tomato sauce and salt.
Also maybe we just find another thing that she is good at, and we have her do
Meanwhile,
that.
so listen,
That's all.
I just want to know, because the conversation I had with her was when I walked upstairs and I said, "Mom, are you upset with me?" And she said, "I am not upset, I'm hurt." And then I walked upstairs and I
Using her
said,
feeling words. Yeah,
"Mhm."
I like
And then
that.
I said, "Okay, you're hurt." And I was like, "Well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings." And she was like, "Well, I just feel like everyone's contributing and I'm not doing anything and da da da
Mm-hmm.
da." And I was like, "Okay, I get it. So it sounds like you want to be able to contribute and stuff like that." And she was like, "Yeah." And then she brought up last year. She was like, "Last year you guys didn't want me to do anything. Your sister cooked everything. Da 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 da." And I was like, "Well, Mom, see, this is the problem. The problem is that we all want to be able to tell you the truth about certain things, but we know that this is the reaction that we're going to get. And so, therefore, we then have to spend our life lying to you and trying to figure out things to come up with just to basically protect your feelings.
It's like, welcome to my family.
Would you rather
This is my
that,
life.
or would you rather just finally the jig is up? This is the."
Yeah.
So I told her, "Why don't you make sweet potatoes? You're great at sweet potatoes." She said she could do the sweet potatoes. Then she was like, "I'm gonna do the rice." And I was like, "Fine, do the rice." Then she was like, "You know what? No, I'm not gonna do the rice." It was like a whole back and forth thing. And now she's cooking the rice.
All right. Well, good.
So
Fine. It's good. Well, at least she's aware of things, and then like actually, this will be a good one, right? So if it comes out like how it normally comes out, then we just say, well, see, I mean, you got to admit, right? And then we just find something else. As long as she's willing to like contribute in a different way, I think it's fine.
yeah, I mean, it was pretty resistant. But now I feel like she's gonna have so much anxiety on
Oh
Thanksgiving
yeah,
Day because she's gonna be stressed the fuck
and
out
she's
to make
already
sure that this
stressed to
rice.
make it usually. So
Oh, also, we're gonna have 3 dogs in the house.
3 dogs? What fucking dogs?
Sorry, yeah.
What dogs?
Maya has to bring her 2 dogs.
Mm.
And they're all gonna be together for Christmas anyway, so we gotta make sure that they meet. Listen, I'm not happy about this. I don't want 3 dogs in the fucking
Hold on,
house.
didn't we already have the 3 dogs on?
She didn't have Carver.
Hmm.
I know. I know. I know. I don't want 3
Oh,
dogs in the
see,
house.
another glitch.
Ugh, but we're gonna have to.
Another glitch in the matrix. Maybe we can set something up like, what if we like put heaters in the garage?
And leave her dogs in the garage?
Well, we'll put all the dogs out there.
What? No.
Why? We'll
I'm not
pull all the
leaving
cars out.
I'm not leaving Euro in the garage. Euro's a family dog.
Hmm.
He's my son. He's a part of the family. He needs to be around for Thanksgiving.
Just saying, so we got people and dogs. It's fine, whatever.
For that, what we do is we keep them not in the garage, in that outside area.
Turn the heater on.
Put the
There.
heater
But
on
it's so
out
small
there.
there, though. For 3 dogs, it's too small.
You were acting like that's a damn like tiny little space. It's a huge outside. That's all like.
Well, we know Euro won't jump up on the furniture, but we don't know if their dogs will.
Well, we know Lily likes to, so we always have the. It's going to be a stressful Thanksgiving. So basically, just everyone prepare.
Great. But we are going to Bodhi Spa after.
We are
The
going
next
to the
day.
Bodhi Spa the next day. We're going to do that water journey again, which I think we talked about on here.
I think we did. Did we?
I don't know.
Well, if we didn't, anyways, they have a place in Providence and Newport,
Mhm.
and it's you do this water journey, and they have the mineral water, the hot mineral jacuzzis, 2 of them. They're different temperatures, and then they got the steam room that you go. They have this whole cycle that you go through, right? So this the mineral water, then the steam room, then into the cold plunge, which is 55 degrees,
Mhm.
and then into the sauna,
Right.
and then back into the mineral
And you do
pool.
the whole
And
thing
you do
over
that
again.
like 3 times over the course of like 3
2
hours,
hours, yeah.
3 hours. And yeah, I liked it. It was cool. We're gonna do it again. And
It's very cool.
excited.
It's very relaxing. I'm not a big. The sauna and the steam room get me. Just heat like that's like in my face, like smacking me like that. It makes me almost it like triggers my like a panic attack almost. Like
Well, I
I'm
think you feel like
like I feel like
you're in a closet,
yeah, I feel
claustrophobic. Yeah.
stuck. I'm like I can't.
But maybe you have to work through that. Maybe that's the
Clearly I
problem.
have to work through it, yeah.
Just push yourself a little bit every
Well, I
time you're
was the
going.
first time we did it. I was like, okay, just sit through it. It's good for you. And then I have to remind myself, you're not, nothing bad's happening.
Yeah, the door's right there.
Door's right. Right. You could exit at any time. And then I finally did.
Yeah, once you can get past that little hump of like, I hear you when it's like really hot in the
Oh,
sauna.
it's like it's suffocating. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I feel like I'm suffocating.
But you just have to know yourself because you can push yourself too far. And then when you get out, it's usually when you get out where like you get cold, and that's when it's like you kind of get lightheaded and shit, you know? So that's what happened to me like a few months
But
back when
that's
I
why
first
there's
started
actually,
here.
if you look at the water journey map that they have in there, there's specific times to
How
be
long do
in
they say to
each.
be in the sauna? I don't
So the
remember.
first one, which is the mineral jacuzzi, was like, I think it was like 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. And then the steam room is like 10 minutes or 12 minutes or something like that. And then the cold plunge and the sauna. But when we go back, we have to look at it because there are specific time frames of how long to stay in each. And
Yeah.
that's when you'll get the most like therapeutic value.
Well, I'm pushing for 60 seconds in the cold plunge this time because I was doing 35 was my max last time. Because 35 seconds, that's a long fucking time. In
I couldn't even count.
Yeah, you get to a point where you're just like,
I can't count because you're just
10,
like
20. Yeah.
I'm just like not even counting.
But then we watched that Limitless show, and I'm like, they were in 37-degree water, and the guy's his first time doing it. He did it over a minute. So I'm like, okay. But also, he was doing it in the ocean, so he's like moving.
Yeah.
So it's probably
It's a little different because
bit
you're moving, right? In that cold plunge, it's not really a lot of room to do
You're
that.
just like there, and you're like,
You do know. Wait, did they in that Limitless show? This is the Limitless show with Chris Hemsworth, who's actually it's an amazing docuseries. But
on Disney.
on Disney Plus. Did they mention in the episodes that we watched why he's doing what he's doing? Because it's
Yeah.
not just about anxiety. He was not diagnosed, but he was given some like medical.
Well, it's about longevity, really, because
No, he's so he was so this may come out later on in the docuseries. And then I read about it. So I don't know if I'm going to spoil it for you or not.
Always reading ahead.
It just popped up.
Well, anyways,
there's a reason that's
him
more
specifically, maybe yes.
Yes. So the longevity is a piece because he was given this news, this medical news.
Okay.
So because of that, he now.
Yeah. So, the things that he's doing, such as like cold plunge, and then he does now for the last 30 seconds of his shower is like the cold ass water. And I think he does a cold plunge at his house like 3 times a week or something now. But that they've done studies, and it's shown that alone on a regular basis over the course of your lifetime can reduce Alzheimer's by up to 60%.
So, okay, this is going to be a spoiler. So whoever hasn't seen it, because I have to say it now. So he took the Alzheimer's test to see if so he has a predisposition to Alzheimer's.
So it's just like a DNA thing,
right?
like,
so because he found that out, now he's and he's taking a break from acting a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everything that he's doing, it's scientifically proven. I've been studying up on all that shit for the past several years, and yeah, I mean, he's doing it, and he's doing it like legit doing it.
No, he's like legit doing it. I mean, like,
yeah. Hold on, we got an Instagram comment here. Let's see.
Oh,
you can never burn rice with rice cooker. Hold on, unless you leave it on for 40 days and 49. Rice cooker.
Right.
Yes.
Fucking rice cooker.
Fucking, who is that? Effa?
That is what I will.
Man.
That is what I will tell.
He's right. He's
Esther.
right.
Just use the rice cooker.
We don't have a rice cooker.
No, because in the Spanish culture, there's like specific pots and specific.
I was just gonna say,
stuff
you're
that like
you're
Hispanics
Puerto Rican
use,
and I'm Korean, and we don't have a rice cooker.
Because it's specific, like to make the rice into they use this like steel metal looking
right.
pot,
I mean, that is, maybe we could suggest that. I mean, a rice cooker costs like fucking $20.
Let's go get one.
We can go get one right now. Yeah.
That's an idea.
Good idea. Yeah.
Good idea.
So, yeah, no, I like the show, and we're kind of doing it. I'm probably going to, after this Bodhi spot thing, I'm going to start implementing the 30 seconds at the end of the shower, a cold, ice cold. I used to do it in Miami, but like
Well, Miami,
it's
it's so hot
that
all the
water
time.
in Miami cannot
Cannot
even
get cold.
It doesn't get below like 60 degrees.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, that's your cold water in Miami.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cheating. I wasn't really doing it.
Doing it here is something way different.
Yeah, some days it was actually like refreshing out there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is nice.
Thank God.
You know, but here it's gonna be like, fuck. Ugh.
Again, why was I the only person to like scream when I went and when I did the plunge? I don't understand why now no one else
We
was
were
like,
only there with like 7 people or whatever, so like, you know, I'm sure there's people that do that. I mean,
so
it
I
takes
guess
your breath away.
out of 7 people, 1 out of 7 people
Maybe.
yell when they get into the
Well, we'll
cold
find out
plunge.
next time. I mean, your
Catherine's
cousin-
got to fucking yell.
No, I bet you Catherine takes it like a champ. She's gangster sometimes.
She is gangster sometimes.
But then she'll be like, I'm never doing that again.
Right. Yeah.
I'm only doing it once. Yeah. Little B sometimes. Little B. Yeah. I don't know what else. I mean, I had other things I wanted to get into today.
I mean, so we are approaching a very serious time for our podcast.
We are?
Yes. I don't know if anyone remembers, but when we first started this podcast, in the time where Trump was president.
Oh no, he wasn't. Was he president yet?
Yes, he was.
He was.
Oh no, they
president,
were.
or-
No, yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, because we were living in Wilton Manors.
He had just become president.
So
Because we
he had
started in
just
March
become-
of like last
right.
year.
So Trump
So,
had
yeah.
just become president, and our first episode actually is called "Not a Trump Supporter," which
Right.
actually is one of my favorite episodes, as well as some other ones in that
It
first
actually
season.
still is like the most
Listened to one. I fucking love that
podcast.
podcast.
I haven't listened to it.
I
in a
love
while.
that episode. But that was our first podcast. And when you listen to the first season, especially, you'll hear a difference because the first season, I feel like we had so much material. Because honestly, because of Trump.
He was putting out new shit for us to talk about every day.
Single fucking week, we had an amazing. And even if we weren't talking about him, it almost like he
triggered
his
things.
Shit hyped me up.
Yeah.
To speak about more stuff. Like,
Well,
it was
he
just
would
like, bam,
talk
bam,
about
bam.
things, and we'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he fucking said it like that," or
right,
whatever.
or this,
and then we'd go into other people's perspectives,
right,
and
right, so
the psychological
much.
part of like what he's actually saying.
So much. So I will say, we're approaching a very, very serious time for our podcast because Trump not only has been reinstated on Twitter, so that's going to change fucking lives here on our podcast, but he has also announced that he's running for president again, which is not a shock. We all knew that was coming.
Yeah.
So this is going to change the fucking game.
Well, we're gonna have plenty to talk about.
Plenty, Sky.
But I would just want to make this clear, as I do every time we talk about.
Stop
Trump.
doing a disclaimer. There's no point.
No, I have to.
Don't
because
do
it has to be done.
It doesn't have to be done.
Yeah, we're not Trump supporters. We are not.
We're no supporter, but we're just independent. Basically, we're just like in the middle. But I just feel like my thing is this: if
I wouldn't even say in the middle.
Yeah, we're not. But if you listen to the podcast, well, you're really not. I'm
more of like
I'd say I'm in the middle. You're like
constitutionalist.
You're like, yeah. I just feel like if people listen to our podcast and they think that we're Trump supporters, then that's on them. I mean,
I guess so.
There's no other way that, but
I mean, it's like, listen, I like some of his ideas, or I guess some stuff that he says is like, okay, that makes sense. Like, but the way that he goes about it is the problem.
His delivery is awful.
And this is where it's really going to get interesting, which we talked about earlier, is the Republican primaries with Ron DeSantis.
You guys, this is going to be the crazy. Like, if you thought that Biden and Trump was like cuckoo, which it was. Biden and Trump was fucking cuckoo. It was like it was almost as though I was watching a Saturday Night Live skit, you know, like
Yeah.
every single time, right? But now we're gonna have Trump and I bet you DeSantis
Hmm.
as the two that are gonna have to fight to the death to see who's gonna be the Republican choice.
Yeah.
And this is going to be insane.
Or I
It's gonna
mean,
be insane.
or he. There's a few other situations here, potentialities here. So,
Mm.
like, yes, that could be a showdown, right? But it could just be like DeSantis just spits out facts and says it eloquently,
He will
and then
because
Trump
he's gonna say it
like
better than Trump.
basically says the same things, but then like throws his like fucking twist on it,
He's gonna
making
make it all
DeSantis
shitty,
sound stupid or something. I don't
right?
know. Um, or because I confirmed this morning that Trump has not determined which party he's running
He
for.
hasn't.
So he could run as an independent, which could really fuck everything up
I don't
in
think
a
he will.
good or bad way. I'm not
I
sure.
don't think he will because of stuff that he stated in his when he announced that he was running again. He said some shit too that was just like in my mind fucking stupid. But
Typical.
he said something about I think it was about like weed. Was it something about weed? Someone who's watching this, if you're listening, pull it up. He said something about weed. People who get caught for weed or whatever should like go to prison. I have to look it
Oh
up.
yeah.
He said some stupid shit that I literally was like, well, now this is just dumb. Like, what's he talking about? But that's such a
Mm,
Republican move, I feel like.
I
It's such a,
guess.
like it like borders that kind of side of things. So I feel like an independent wouldn't say that.
Well,
Right?
what I'm saying is like, I mean, he could go independent. I mean, he might not even run under the independent party. He doesn't need to, because I mean, the guy's got a bigger platform. Like, however many people watch like the Republican debates, like he could just put out one tweet and he reaches more fucking like 5 times more people than watch the debates. Probably 10 times more people, right? So he doesn't really have to like run with a party really,
No.
because really the party and uh basically they just get into parties to support and promote each other, to help the promotion. He doesn't need any of that. He's his own promotion. He's his own media.
Wait a minute. So wait, this guy. It says no. Wait, he was impeached twice. No, he wasn't. Was he? I'm confused.
Maybe attempted to.
Well, see, here we go. On CNBC, it's saying Donald Trump, twice impeached and under FBI investigation, launches 2024 White House bid. That's, of course, the title of the,
Right.
So, but I don't remember him being
No,
impeached.
he
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 went
he
through his
went through the
whole.
whole fucking thing. What are you talking about?
And
Twice
then if
impeached?
he's
I'm
running
confused.
again, then he can have another 4 terms. So if he was impeached, he wouldn't
He
be
wouldn't
able
be
to
able
do
to,
any of this.
right?
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
all like
I'm
bullshit.
confused.
Yeah, I mean, like if you understand like how things actually work, you'll see that articles like that are like literally like traps, or they just want to like bait click you or whatever, just to get you to like click on the article. But like it's all bullshit. I can guarantee you read that article and they tell you exactly what happened down somewhere
Well,
down at the
someone
bottom.
down there going to be like, right. It's not going to say he was impeached twice. It's going to be like, people wanted to get him impeached, like something like, um, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so I feel like this is what I think. And I think I talked about this before, but I mean, it's pretty clear now that I've seen also how many followers Trump got back on
Oh, hold
Twitter
on, hold on. Yeah, let's do
in
that.
literally in literally like in a matter of 5 minutes. In a matter of
Hold on,
5
hold
minutes, you
on.
guys.
Let's just let's get it up there. I'll tell. Fucking sorry, guys. I think I have the wrong
You have the
program on
something's
this camera, and
yeah.
it keeps getting fuzzy. So,
Yeah.
um, so last night, it's doing it again, motherfucker. Okay.
We're just too far for it. That's the thing.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay. So last night, I we found out whatever he's back on Twitter, right? Elon Musk made the announcement.
He still hasn't said anything,
So
right?
I don't think so.
There's
Well, we'll
been
find out in a second here. So then I went on, probably, I don't even know what time that was, like
Last
10
night.
o'clock at night, right?
Yeah.
And he had just been instated,
Mhm.
and he had 52,000 followers, right? And then I literally turned to Aaliyah. I told her, here comes Saul, our podcast is about to be over. I told her, I said, hey, Trump is back on Twitter.
Mhm.
And you were like, what? Okay. And then I looked back at it and I refreshed it. He had 75,000.
In a matter of like
30 seconds.
It was wild. So today,
and then now, hold on, let's look.
Today, let's see how much he has. Let's see how many he has.
So you're not supposed to be here, but
okay. Today the guy has got to have. I mean, no. You said he had. When we looked earlier, he had 70 something million.
Hold on, ruining it.
All right.
So, yeah.
How many now?
So when we woke up, he had 72 million, and now he has 86 million, 86.4. So this is only a few hours later.
It's insane, and it just keeps growing. So now it kind of gets me, and then I was like, how many followers does DeSantis have?
Yeah, we looked. He only has 3 million,
and he only has 3 million. So, I mean, it's still kind of worrisome to me because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, now the whole crew's coming down. Euro's gonna come down. Here he comes. He's coming. Yes, he is.
Just go upstairs.
I told.
This is what happens when you have a podcast at home, guys.
Well, this is what happens when you have a podcast at home and your daughter doesn't take a nap anymore.
She doesn't take a nap.
We're gonna have to find a new time to do this. So don't be careful over there.
It's gonna have to
come back over here, please. So
it's gonna have to be nighttime, and I'm the worst at night. Like at night, my brain shuts down. Don't touch anything, sweetie. Okay. This is very serious stuff. All right. Mama. We're working. This is what we do on Sundays.
Oh, he did make an announcement or something.
He did.
Oh, we got to listen to it, but we have to wait for Soul to leave.
No, he just put. That's just his reinstatement.
Oh no, that's from 2021.
Oh,
so he hasn't said shit.
No, which I feel like that's yes.
Oh my God! You just came down here an hour ago and asked for a snack.
You were just here. You asked for a snack. I said get a muffin.
Do you know
Wayla? With Wayla.
Wayla's the one that gets you snacks right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you a snack. Wayla's the one that's going to do it for you. You can't go that way. You got to go around.
Yeah. Come this way.
Go ahead. Go around this way.
Oh my goodness.
Really?
You cannot go that way. You have to go this way.
This is really actually...
So, can you come over here, please?
So, Olivia. All right, you want to stand there? Stand there.
Stares at us.
But then you can't
All right, then
speak.
don't say anything, okay?
Be quiet.
Oh my gosh.
This is really bad for me. It's not bad for you. See, you'll be able to
No,
talk.
This is bad for me right now because I'm
your partner, so without me, it's like, but I can't speak. See, I can't speak at all.
I'm such a perfectionist that this is like so annoying.
What would you like? Soul. Why can't... I could never do anything. Ever. All right.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis. He had 3.3 million this morning, and he still only has 3.3 million.
3.3 million, and he's still, right. So he's not going up like Trump's, like going like a mile a minute.
Well, I mean, he just did get reinstated. That's going to flatten out at some point. So
yeah, it'll flatten out at 80 million.
I'm going to flip out. We got it. Just. Well, it doesn't matter because it's already clearly interrupted. So we'll be done in a little bit, okay? Come on. We'll be done in a little while.
This is what happens. This is what happens. I hope that other people can relate while watching this and listening to this. This is life. being a parent. But anyway, going back to the whole Trump thing. So DeSantis, right, he only has like 3 million. It hasn't gone up at all. So my thought initially was that if it was between DeSantis and Trump, that DeSantis would probably win. And in my mind, the reason why I thought that was because I'm like, well, I mean, at least he's like an actual like political person, right? Like he's a governor, blah blah blah, all that stuff. He can speak and doesn't like at least make like, fun of people and call upon people to be against different cultures and races and stuff, right? So like I figured, okay, he'll win. But then I saw this and now I'm like, shit. I mean, the following then that Trump has is like he literally in the first episode, I'm not a Trump supporter. I stated Trump reminds me of Manson. And I said that. And I stick by it. And not in terms of like him being a psychopath like Manson, but in terms of like how he's able to manipulate and basically kind of get people to like love him so much that they're willing to, riot the Capitol and do all these things for him. I mean, Manson was so manipulative that he got people to kill for him. It's like this is like and so for me, it's like in the same ballpark basically. So this is why for me Trump's actually pretty powerful with his manipulation, I will say.
I did Donald Trump's numerology,
Oh yeah, what's his numerology again?
and oh man, this is where DeSantis might have a problem. I mean, the guy's a master number 22, which is like those types of people can manifest whatever they want.
Yeah,
You
so let's do Charles Manson's numerology.
know?
So let's do Charles Manson's numerology. I bet you it's the same.
The other thing is I found interesting because I did both of their numerologies, Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. They both have a challenge of sensitivity.
Well,
Like
Trump is very sensitive, but that's also could
yes,
be if he is a narcissist, which I don't know. He's sensitive just because of that narcissistic ego part, but it's not really
but it won't
it's
come
not really
out like that.
sensitivity
Yeah,
as it is more like, yeah.
yeah. So it could be very interesting. I mean, if Trump really can like strike a chord in Ron DeSantis if he wants to,
Yo,
and he
yeah, I
goes
don't
more gangster than anybody. So like, there's no way Ron DeSantis would do anything that would
it's
make
gonna be
Trump
it's yeah,
feel
I don't know
sensitive about.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I gotta tell you guys, regardless of who you like, okay, you better hope. You better hope Trump, regardless of who you like, you better hope Trump does not get that primary for the Republican. Because I gotta tell you, if he's going against any other Democrat, unless that Democrat is,
I don't know any Democrat right now
I don't know
that
who the
I'd
Democrats are. I
be
have no
like.
idea, but I mean,
I mean, it would be like
everyone
OAC or something. That
chose Joe Biden. I'm assuming because nobody wanted Trump, and then now look.
yeah, well, that didn't work out. Even the Democrats have to
You know
like
what? I got an email
with
today.
that.
I got an email today from the student loan or whatever, the government, right? So your application for to wipe all your debt away or whatever has been accepted. It's now, good to go. However, because there's these, people are stopping it or whatever.
Because of the Texas
Right.
judgment down
Because the
there.
Texas, we can't do anything about it right now, but you are accepted and good. I'm like, so you sent me the application saying that my debt will basically be gone, but I can't have it right now because I mean, like, thanks. Thank you. So excited
Well,
now.
I always say it's a catch-22 with that.
And now what am I supposed to tell Navient when I speak to them? I'm gonna be
They
like,
don't give a shit. They're like, give me my
actually,
money.
Navient, I'm gonna be like, actually, I've been approved and I would like to wait this out to see when this goes through.
Good luck with that conversation.
The government said I was approved. I have the email.
Doesn't mean anything till the money's in the bank.
Oh my God. So anyway, I don't now bottom line, basically this is going to be a shit show, and now I'm actually less confident that DeSantis is going to take over the primary for Republican, and now I don't know, guys, but I'm not as confident. Just,
We'll see.
but this is just basically, I had no idea. 72 million?
No,
80 million?
86 million.
86 million? Dude, I had no idea that it was that, like,
I
in a
mean,
matter of a day. In a
hold on.
day.
Let's go. Let's.
In
Hold
a
on.
day.
I know it's insane.
Uh,
Let's. Let me look at something real quick. Right. So if we pull up Elon Musk, right?
Okay.
So Elon has.
And check how many Kanye has.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. So Elon
Okay.
Musk has
117.
117. Trump has 86. Like
In a
in a
day.
day. Elon Musk, his numbers have been going up like up like a million a day for the past week, because he's the new owner or whatever. But I mean, he owns Twitter. This is the owner of Twitter, and he has 117 million, and Trump has 86 million.
In actually less than a day, because he
It
was
hasn't even been a
reinstated. It
day. A
hasn't even been
day
a
will
full
be
24
tonight at
hours.
like 10
It
o'clock.
hasn't even been a full 24 hours.
By
You guys.
tonight, he'll have 90 million.
It's like really I'm I don't know. I'm like wowed by that, actually, to be honest. I
Also,
really didn't think it was that
I mean, you have to take
hardcore.
into some consideration here that, you know, Elon's still sifting through Twitter, and there's still probably a bunch of like fake Twitter accounts and stuff. So I'm sure all these people jumped on board with this fucking Donald Trump thing, and
Well, you
who knows?
follow Donald Trump.
I just did last night.
Right.
I just did
so
last
now-
night. Well, yeah, but I mean, there's probably a bunch of fake accounts that are also following
I
him.
feel like, I wonder if there's probably people who follow Donald Trump because they want to just see like what crazy
That's why
thing
I
is going to
follow
come
him.
out of his. Right. I know that's why you follow him, because it's really helps us in our podcast. But I really want to know, like, I think people are like, what is this motherfucker going to say? And so they just want to see. But he hasn't said shit.
Yeah. Kanye is back on as
Kanye's back
well.
on. He said testing.
Oh, by the
testing.
way, I wanted to mention Kathy Griffin is back on after
That
it
whole
was only
thing.
like 10 days she was banned, and everybody's the media, it was all over the
All
place.
over the place.
Probably the last, if you're not on Twitter, the last thing you heard about Twitter was Kathy Griffin and Elon Musk is banning people. He's fucking horrible. He's just as
Yeah.
bad as everybody else. He's censoring. Well, guess what? 10 days later, just like I called last time, she's back on. He just wanted to like prove a point, like, hey, don't switch your name because that's not who you are. We all know you're Kathy Griffith. You're not Elon Musk. So
Kathy Griffin.
Griffin. I mean, when was the last time she did anything really? I don't even know. So it's whatever.
She's
Not shitting on her career, whatever.
She's had a pretty long.
I'm just saying, like,
long
it's not
career.
very important for me. Like she might say my last name wrong, and I don't care.
Well, I feel like anybody should have at least some. We should give anybody the respect of just pronouncing their name correctly.
Okay, you're right.
Like,
You're right. All right.
Yay!
Kanye's got 31 million.
Look at that, 31 million. He probably went down though after all the shit that went down recently.
I think it just went up because he just got reinstated back on here. Oh, he just
Testing.
Oh,
look, people are liking it by the second. This is my first actual interaction with Twitter. I never really was
Oh, really?
Was a tweet person. I don't know anything about it.
Let's just go into this one, right? All right, testing. Oh, he's back.
Go into it. What do you mean?
Well, I'll show you. Right? So you click on it, and then you see all the tweets about it, right?
Okay.
So you got Lex Friedman saying, "Welcome back," whatever this is. Basically, so everybody is like talking here about that one tweet. He's got like 20 something thousand,
and everybody has a check mark. So
well,
now
not necessarily. See, nobody. This person, most of these people don't.
Now the check mark is what again?
Check mark means you're verified. That means you pay the subscription every month, and you're a real person because it has to be verified through the Apple app or Android app. And that means you have a credit card attached to a human being.
Now, I thought, though, that he got rid of that. I thought he was going to do something different.
No, $7.99. Kathy Griffin
Griffin.
pays $7.99 now,
Interesting.
and so does Kanye.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So does Lex Friedman. Or Friedman.
Lex
However
Friedman
you
does
say it.
as well. Yes, he pays for that. He's got a white check mark.
What's white? Oh, so there's different colors.
No, I don't think so. I mean, mine was white too. Ours was white too, and then it went to blue. Oh no, see, it's white.
Yeah, it's white. So
Yeah.
I guess that's what everybody gets.
Yeah. So if you're not already, follow us on Twitter, Keanvenient at Keanvenient.
Keanvenient.
We are
Truth.
definitely ramping that up. There's a thing on here called Spaces. I don't think you can do it on the no. You can't do it on the laptop, only on your phone. But anyways, it's basically like a live podcast on there. And we're trying to utilize that more, but I'm still tweaking that out. So we're doing live on Instagram now. But
Okay.
yeah, so this should be interesting coming up here in the next few months.
Yeah, so when
Politically.
do all of the people who are running actually make the announcement? Like by when?
I don't know. Trump made it a little bit early.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So usually
But he wants to be the first. So
usually by like early next year, because in January, that's 2 years for Biden. So he still has another 2 years. But basically, they'll select the next. Hold on, is it 2 years? Yeah, 2024. But so 2020 January 2024 is when the new president will be in.
So it takes 2 years for a campaign for people to.
Like a year usually, at least.
That's so wild.
Also, speaking of Kanye, I mean, I think he's still running too.
No, he's not.
He says it.
I can't. That just needs to stop. He just needs to end that. I mean, I do actually enjoy listening to Kanye. I think he's, but it just needs to end.
The fucking Kanye,
DeSantis and Trump.
Trump debating shit. God damn, that's fire. Fire fucking content. That's like content for days.
For days.
We can analyze everything.
Days.
We can have a whole season on that shit.
Months, years. Oh my God.
That's
amazing.
For us, I think it's more about the interesting part is like the what the topics that they're talking about, the topics that they bring up.
Well, that's what we get, yeah.
Kanye and Trump, that's what they do. They throw out things that people aren't talking about.
Recently about the woke culture? He came at it real gangster.
Yo, let's play that.
Play that. Just say, yo, DeSantis's recent.
Oh, I think we got to go on Instagram for that one because it's a meme, I think. And we got to play the meme one because that was fucking fire.
He came at the woke culture real gangster. And I forgot exactly what he said, but he was serious.
I think who made that was Daily Wire.
Ooh.
People will shit on us for liking Daily Wire.
Of course, the Daily Wire would.
Listen, we're right down the middle.
The real Daily Wire.
Where is it?
Oh, right
this
there.
Is it, yeah. I hope we can hear it.
I know.
Oh shit! He's already on the way.
I know. Yeah, he's already. Start all over. Unmute.
What is this? I can't. How come I can't get out?
Unmute. The screen's right there.
Okay.
Have embraced freedom. We have maintained law and order. We have protected the rights of parents, and we reject woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
Yeah. They got put glasses on him and shit.
So serious? Oh my God. Woke. Wait,
This is
what was the last thing you said?
Florida is where
Woke
goes to die.
Florida is where woke goes to die. Red eyes beaming at you. Cut you in half.
You know,
And he had the head bob in that too. He was like, Florida.
you know, I have a question. So, all right, you know how obviously we say, all right, that person is like super woke or woke culture, right? All these fucking
This is
people
a
that are
good,
woke,
I feel
right?
like this is going to go into something. Go ahead.
Those people that the majority of other people look at and they're like, that person is very woke. Do you think that that person is like, fuck yeah, I'm woke, motherfucker? Like, I'm fucking woke. I'm a woke
really
motherfucker.
even know what-
Or
what-
is it like not a compliment?
I feel like maybe I need to know the actual definition of what woke means
Well, let's look it up.
in the Urban Dictionary.
Is that where it would be?
It's definitely.
What
in the
would I
Urban
say?
Dictionary.
Woke, like
Just woke definition.
yeah, but it's gonna be like waking
No,
up.
no. I guarantee it won't because it's such a big thing right now. They definitely added that shit.
I can't spell.
NITION.
N-I-T. Get nervous on camera. See? I told you.
No, hold
waking
on.
up.
Yeah, you have to go to the Urban Dictionary. I'm telling you.
Where the fuck is that?
What does woke mean?
Okay. Nationalworld.com. Never heard of that.
All right. Click
Well,
on that.
it's probably a different definition than foxnews.com.
Don't go to the first one.
Hold on. What's this? This is
Cambridge. Yeah.
No, this is like
The Cambridge English Dictionary. Yeah.
social problems such as race. Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
okay. Oh, this is fairly
This
reliable.
is legit. Okay.
Hold on. This is wake.
Woke. Here we go. Aware, especially of social problems such as racism and inequality.
Well,
She
isn't
urged
everybody?
young Black people to stay woke. He said that many of these so-called woke individuals never actually engage with the marginalized groups they claim to defend.
You know what? This is how it started off. Everything starts off great. It's all like starts off positive and whatever, and then it becomes something, right?
Well,
like these people, whoever started this, then they took advantage of this.
Social problems. I'm aware of social problems as
Right.
racism and inequality. I'm aware of that. So, but I feel like that's
Just
not
being aware.
it
That's
now.
so general.
Yeah, it's really general. I feel like it's turned into something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I would say that I am that definition as it explains.
I think
there.
Democrats do not use the term woke because they are. I don't know.
I thought it was like it's a very liberal. A lot of liberals use
Do you
that
know
term.
what liberal means?
Yes, I know what liberal means.
You do?
Go up to the definition of liberal. Liberal is my father.
Is it?
Fuck yeah. Liberal. What does it say?
Read it. Can you read it?
Favoring reform, open to new ideas, and tolerant of the. Wait, hold on. I want to stop for a second.
What does it say?
Hold on. I just want to stop. Favoring reform, open to new ideas. Let's stop with that for a second. So that's a part of what it means to be liberal.
Your dad's not liberal.
Well, I got to tell you, I think a lot of people who say that they're liberal aren't liberal because just from that right there, favoring reform, open to new ideas.
Well, no, I think that you think something's liberal, but it's really not. It's based off of libertarianism, I believe. I don't know.
Okay.
See, this is proof right now. Hold on. This is proof right now that we don't fucking know shit about politics. So we're not favoring
Who cares?
anybody.
I don't care what anyone thinks. My thing is this, though, is that if I'm going based on the liberal term that I guess assume to know that coincides with being a Democrat, because most Democrats are liberal, okay? They have a liberal. Are they? Yes, that's like a known thing. And then Republicans are supposed to be a little more conservative.
We need
right?
somebody to like
That's
tell us.
basically the stereotype of the two. But you're telling me in this definition that liberal, and I didn't finish the whole thing, but hold on. And I can cut this whole thing up. Favoring reform, open to new ideas, and tolerant of the ideas and behaviors
Hold on.
of others.
Intolerant? No, tolerant.
I know that.
I
And
thought you said no.
tolerant of the ideas and behavior of others, not bound by traditional thinking, broad-minded, synonym broad-minded. I want to be clear, though. If that is what liberal means, I truly believe that there are lots of people in this world who are identifying as democratic and liberal who are fucking not based on that definition. I can literally fucking call out 2 people right now who I know are not living by that definition. So I'm confused.
Well, you need to pull up the definition next time you see them.
Pull up the definition of Republican.
Definition of Republican?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Listen, all these terms have gotten skewed. That's why they come out with like different ones, like Rhino Republican.
Well, then
all this
people
other
need to
shit.
go back to fucking Googling and fucking figuring out what the actual definitions are and stop using words that they fucking think they know and they're not living by it, okay? Go to Republican. Republican definition.
You read it?
Okay, it's very small, but relating to or characteristic of a republic, favoring a republic as the best form of government, of relating to, characteristic of, or belonging to the Republican Party. What the fuck is a
Okay,
republic
now
of
we
people?
get back. Now we're going down a great path, I believe, because nobody knows what a republic is.
I don't know what a republic is.
And technically, the United States is supposed to be a republic. Remember the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to
the republic for which it stands.
Not democracy.
Okay, this is interesting.
Okay.
Republic. A political order whose head of state is not a monarch and in modern times is usually a president.
What the fuck?
A nation that has such a political order in which the supreme power lies in a body of citizens who are entitled to vote for officers and representatives responsible to them.
I wouldn't even 100% agree with that definition, really, because that's essential. Well, yes, citizens.
I feel like I understand the last one more. The last one makes sense to me more.
Yeah. So, I mean, but this is where shit gets hairy, right? The definitions of things, right? If we go to the definition of inflation. What does it say?
An act of inflating a state, of being inflated. A hypothetical, extremely brief period of very rapid expansion of the universe immediately following the Big Bang.
Oh, wow.
A continuing rise in the general price level, usually attributed to an increase in the volume of money and credit relative to available goods and services.
Oh, wow. They actually got it right, right? The increase in volume of money.
Yeah, that's
which is the increase in money supply. That is the original definition.
Yeah, so they got it.
But in most places, everywhere you look, is they'll just basically they'll tell you the symptom, which would be price increases.
Okay, well, it's not saying it here. That's the definition.
Well, you know why? Because we're searching on Brave instead of Google.
Oh my God, search on Google.
You want to see?
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
In action of inflating something or the condition of being inflated, a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. I mean, it's
value of money. They're not saying that because the increase in money supply. They're just saying the value of money decreases, which is true. Our value, that's what's happening with inflation. The value of it is lowering, which means things cost more money because it takes more dollars to buy things. So right here, Google is basically giving you
A
a
very-
false definition of inflation.
Well, we don't know which one's false.
You know what's true? The one where it talks about increase in money supply and the volume of money, that is true, because that, if you go back in the Webster's dictionary from like the 1950s,
Have you done that?
yeah, we can do it right now if you want to keep going.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
I've got to make sure that we back everything up here.
Webster. I don't know.
1950 definition of inflation.
A lot.
Oh wait, 1950s definition. Go down.
So there's Webster.com.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
that's
Where'd
not-
you see 1950?
Go down.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. Oh wait. No, it says definition
Oh,
of 1950s.
right here. Inflation
Yes.
Webster's 1913.
Yeah.
So this is before the Federal
Okay.
Reserve came into.
The act or process of inflating, or the state of being inflated, as with air or
Right,
gas,
that's
right?
the other one.
The state of being puffed up, right? Okay.
Right,
Undue expansion or increase from over issue said of currency.
of overissue of currency. Issuing means
Yeah,
printing,
right.
right? So that one's the
most-
economic
yeah.
version. So it says the same thing, increase in the money supply. They just say it in a weird way there, but
Interesting.
so Google has decided that they can change things so that you think that it's the price is going up and down when it has nothing. That's just a symptom of the actual problem. So then if you go back to solve the problem,
It's with
you
the
would have to go back
overissue
to
of
whoever's
printing
issuing the
and
money in the
doing
first
that
place.
stuff, and that causes the inflation.
So who would you point the finger at? Whoever's making the money, right?
Yeah.
Which would be the Federal Reserve and
Mhm.
the federal government.
Yeah.
But they point the finger at everybody else. Putin, fucking, this war, that
Interesting.
war, fucking supply issues, COVID. It's them. They
Interesting.
created the
See,
money.
now I'm learning stuff right
Now you're
now.
learning.
See,
You
look,
just learned something.
everyone, if you just want to know, just Google the definitions
But-
and
but
Google
see-
on all the different platforms.
But here's the thing. This is a perfect example of what I always say, right? Most people only want to go down a couple layers, right? So they would make it to, inflation here, and then maybe. Oh, actually, no. They'd go right to Google, and then they'd be like, "Well, look, this is prices,
right? Because everyone uses that,
And then that would be the end of it.
they
right?
wouldn't think, let's go to
Let's
another
go
one,
to
or
a
another
different,
one, or another
because
one.
a lot of people don't understand that there's other search engines. They don't understand that Google suppresses information. It's just like fucking Instagram and Facebook and whatever. So it makes to create this world that we live in, that some things are true that are maybe not true, or vice versa, or whatever, and it creates the confusion. And that's what they want. They just want confusion, really, I guess.
I want to
So we can't
know-
figure things out.
When we were in like economics classes in college and stuff, because I did take one, but I can't remember it. I wish I could remember like what they talked about in there regarding inflation, and how the professors really talked about. But I think that's just based on the professor also.
Well, yeah, and if you went, like, when did you go to college? In what year? Like early 2000s, probably.
This was
Who knows? I mean, it depends. It depends on the professor, and they might have touched on it, but they probably didn't make a big deal about it or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how we got down that road, but
yeah, I don't
everybody's
know
lying to
how
you.
we got
That's the.
Everyone's lying. Nothing's.
I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he was talking to Neil Brennan. They were trying to figure out what's the best way to like vet all these ideas and thoughts of what is true and what's not true. It's like, it's not an easy task, right? And that's essentially what Elon is attempting to do here. So what he's attempting to do is verify everybody that's on there, so they're actually real people. Once that's done, then everybody on here is real. I'm talking a human being. Nobody's trying to like buy a bunch of Twitter fucking accounts and fucking pump out a certain particular narrative or anything, right? And so once you do that, then what? Then you essentially allow ideas just to be, right? That's why he let Trump back on. Trump's going to have all kinds of fucking crazy ideas and thoughts and talk, whatever. Now, if there's a lot of people out there that are agreeing with him, then that'll float to the top. And if they end up being shitty ideas, so be it. I guess. I don't know.
Everyone's allowed to have a shitty idea, right?
But I mean, I would much rather have all kinds of ideas on here, and then we can talk about them on here in a logical manner and debate them. And then maybe one side learns something, maybe the other side learns something, maybe one side is just like, yes, that's it. And like everybody jumps on board with that and they say this is the correct thing. I don't know. I think it has to like flush out within culture, and it takes time. I think it's going to take many years, because you got to think about how we even got to the way we are right now, and why people think the way that they think, and then why they don't trust anybody and all this other shit is because culture has created this. So you got these news channels that are like paid for and owned by these people that have a specific narrative that they want to pump out. We got to flush through all that, get back to like individual journalism. There's a lot of guys out there like Glenn Greenwald, Tim Pool. There's a whole bunch of people on Twitter or whatever that, yes, some people may not agree with them, but they're at least they're telling the truth. At least it's their truth.
Well, it's their truth,
and they've done the research too. They've done the research. Most people don't have time to fucking even do what we just did right now. With the inflation thing, because they got job 9 to 5, fucking kids. They got their mother or grandmother is not doing well. They're helping them out. They're fucking, yard work.
I mean, if it wasn't for my mom coming to save the day right now with our
we wouldn't be
kid,
doing this right now.
I wouldn't have learned something.
Right, and it takes time to like do all these things, and I think that's all we need. And I feel as though Elon is doing humanity and freedom of speech a service right now, a great service, by allowing us to just communicate freely on there. And we'll see what happens over the next 10 years. People are scared of that. They want to control it. They want to be, and everybody thinks that they know better than the other person.
I know. It's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows better than anybody. No. We all just communicate, and then through lots of communication, through different avenues of we vet it out, and we all realize, that is true. That does make sense like that, But what we're starting to find out is, a lot of these social media companies are censoring and pumping out their ideas of what they want you to see.
Yeah.
And that is the complete opposite of what they're doing at Twitter. And I don't know why anybody's even shitting on this guy. It makes no fucking sense. So if you're shitting on him, please hit us up, because I'd like to have you on, and we can have the open, logical debate, and we can stream it live on Twitter.
Yeah, I really actually don't understand what the issue is there either. I'm just kind of like, okay, he bought Twitter and he's running it, and
they're like, he fired everybody and all these people lost their jobs. Well, those people were censoring. They were doing you guys a disservice, because they're pushing out a specific narrative that maybe you don't agree with.
I don't know, but also, although he fired lots of people,
he hired a bunch of people,
lost their jobs, he also did hire a lot of people, and he's not the only person to do that. I don't mean to sound like whatever, but like, I feel like everybody do it all the time. I feel like everybody was talking about it in the news like it was some fucking big thing that's never happened before, and I'm like, that happens at a lot of companies. Right. I'm confused, and it's unfortunate, but
especially when you're going in and you're wanting to make some significant changes, and it's a cultural. Twitter became there was a culture within Twitter of like, I guess we'll call it wokeism, or censorship, or shutting conversations down that may have needed to be had. So that's a humongous task to take on, especially for somebody who's already a multi-billionaire with already like 3 or 4 super successful companies that are going to fucking space and making electric cars and digging under fucking cities with the boring company. Like, this guy is a fucking super genius, whether you like him or not. It's the truth. And
so wild.
And if you don't think it's the truth, let's fucking talk about it. You know, like
I would
they're
love to
just
talk about
ideas.
it too. I would also love to save that for next
Oh yeah. No,
episode.
I'm done. No, I'm saying not you and I, but like if
Oh,
anybody's out there, you guys want to talk
no,
about
I
this,
mean,
like
like,
let's
I would
fucking
like to
talk.
talk about it with someone on next episode is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I am actually always like trying to encourage people that we disagree with to like come talk to us. But a lot of people don't want to like talk on like a public forum like this because they're not.
You can talk anonymously.
Well, yeah,
We don't have
they
to
don't even
say
want
who
to
you
do
are.
that. They don't even want to do that either. But I mean,
We can put one of those voice changers in here.
yeah, put you in the
Talk
corner
like
over there.
fucking Charlie Brown,
Put
whatever.
you in the corner, voice change you. But I mean, if you got to do that, that means like you're not very confident with your
In what you're
ideas
saying.
and what you're trying. Yeah, exactly. You haven't done the real research. So anybody that can just go out like what we do every week and just sit here and have no topics, no ideas, and just go free flowing and put that out into the world and risk it being criticized and shit on or whatever. Who gives a fuck? All right, fine. You're gonna criticize us? Then come criticize us to our face here.
I mean, I'm just okay with just, like having conversation. I don't know a lot of things, especially when it comes to politics. I know nothing when it comes to politics, actually. Or any kind of economic term or anything like that. That stuff is like doesn't even like phase me in my mind. But hey, I'm willing to hear what people have to say and just learn. I love to learn. This is one of the
Right.
reasons why I love my job, because honestly, I learned so much. I learned so much from all these different people. I think it's amazing. Why would you not want to learn so much from different people?
I don't know. I
Like,
don't
I feel
understand.
like if I'm not learning from all different people, from all different places, from all different cultures, from all different everything, then I'm like,
What are we doing here?
right. Like
We're just
to
we
me
created
that
our little bubble that
to
we
me
just
that's
live in
like,
it,
what's the
like
point then of like just so what I'm just like, it's just weird. I'm just like, I want to grow and I want to learn. And if you're not learning, you're either dead or you're basically just existing.
mm.
Is kind of what so yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like a lot of people out there that have just like gotten like caught up in the I don't know what you call it, like the fucking dug themselves a hole
Yeah, like
and they're
Melton,
just
I feel
sitting
like
in it.
like the
And
man, the myth, Melton. He just lives
he's
his
not
life.
that bad though. He
Dad?
traveled. Anyone that travels a lot,
No, Dad's not that bad because he's willing to have discussions actually, and he
right.
loves to talk and he loves to hear things out. But he gets really passionate about like political stuff, and there's nothing you can tell him that's gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, even that time when we had him on, there was a few times that I had asked him questions and like he was just like kind of frazzled. He didn't really know the
Yeah,
answers to,
yeah.
right?
Well, and he just
And
would go back to like what he.
and then it's just like oh, that's ridiculous or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, that's when you know that somebody hasn't like really done the research into it. And
But
I'm
he'll
not,
tell you too. I feel like you've asked him several times, like, "Have you read this?" And he's like,
yeah.
"No," and you're like, "Well, I have." Sorry.
And it's like, I think sometimes I may come off to people like
Oh, God, is
like
this about you again?
no. I just like I'm just saying like in conversations like that I may come off to people as like I know more than them or something like that.
You're a know-it-all.
But I think some of it is because I actually do want to learn and I am out there talking to people and I have traveled and I understand that there's different cultures that do different things and I'm okay with that. Like,
But I also not only think it's because you have, I also think that people also may not know or underestimate you in terms of like you're the person that has gone on spirals by yourself in your room, I'm sure, in your own OCD crazy mind. And you've literally read probably like scripts and scripts of like laws and this and that and like
yeah.
fucking books and just to basically like, so like you've actually done and put in work. Whereas me, I'm not doing that shit. That's like, I'm not doing that. That's taking me too long. I got shit to do. I have blah, 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 blah. But you've done that.
Right.
So some of the stuff that you say is actually coming from that place because you've actually really have from
Right.
like from 1800 all the way like up
Bits
to
and
here,
pieces. Like my problem is my memory isn't like 1,000%. You know, like
Oh my God, if you had that pill that was in that movie where you take the pill and
limitless. That was limitless. I
yeah,
think.
and it
Yeah.
opens up your mind and you can
Yeah.
remember everything ever
Oh my
from
God,
when you like,
it'd be insane. But like, even if I just had your memory, I would be
pretty good
way
memory.
more on point with some of my things, and I'd be able to like source them like right off the top of my head of like what I did read. But because I'm like constantly like reading things and listen to podcasts, listen to reading like whatever audiobooks and all this other shit, that sometimes I can't recall exactly where I remember
I'm
hearing it from or
I'm like
whatever.
that too. My memory is only I've actually come that to learn that my memory is only really on point for things that I actually really like value or care about, you know?
Yeah. Well, I
Like
mean, that's most
for
people.
other things, right,
That's most people.
that I don't care about, I'm like, "Huh? What?"
Well,
Like,
why should you remember it? It's like taking up space
yeah,
in your head that you
it's
don't
just
care
like,
about it.
right. I don't want to this is dumb to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or not like dumb, it's just not relevant to me in
But
my
don't
life.
you have like a photographic memory?
I do. Yes, I can get around by
So you
looking at
remember
things.
like
Sights.
visually.
Mhm.
Visually. Okay, okay.
Yep.
So, but that's not a photographic memory, then, is that? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's the definition of a photographic memory.
I thought so.
I
Look it
thought it.
up. But I thought it was, yeah,
I thought it
photographic
was
memory.
about I thought it was just being able to recall things exactly.
Photographic memory is the ability to recall a past scene in detail with great accuracy, just like a photograph.
Scene. Yeah.
Right. So, like, basically, like, what if, let's say we're driving somewhere, you know,
Mm.
if I'm like looking and observing, which I usually am, if I'm not driving, especially, but if I'm looking around and I can literally get us out of there and back there
Because you remembered like
because
a
I
tree
remember
or
a
a
tree.
house.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm like, okay, I remember that because the mailbox was yellow and da 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 da, and that's what's going on in my head.
All right. I always thought photographic memory was like just being able to recall anything. I didn't think about it as being visual, but okay.
Well, a
What
photo.
is there another type of memory where you can just remember everything? Like what you learned and just recall it, like bring it up from the Rolodex from fucking
Well,
10
so
years
that
ago?
would mean that you would probably
Is that
either
just a
have to have
genius?
that pill, right,
That's just a
limitless,
genius.
or I'm sure that there's probably some individuals who actually can. The individual, you know, who actually people who are amazing with that. Um, just because I've worked with them and they literally blow me away with their memory, is individuals who are on the spectrum actually have
Yeah, I was just gonna say like
an amazing ability to recall.
autism and what's the other one?
I don't know. Oh, I just individuals.
Asperger's. People with
Well, it's on the
Asperger's.
spectrum,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, just anybody. Okay.
But you know, I mean, depending. Like, there's some degrees. You know, there's more intense versions.
Mm-hmm.
Asperger's is more high functioning. But no, I mean, yeah, individuals on the spectrum can
Have I ever
blow
told
me
you my
away.
Asperger's story when I first found out what Asperger's was?
You don't have Asperger's, but
No. Have I ever told you about the very first time I even heard the word before?
mm-mm.
I've never told you this. It's fucking hilarious and slightly embarrassing, but so this is probably I don't know, not that long ago, like 7 or 8 years ago, right? I was at a comedy show, just a random, it was just a local thing, right? So there wasn't even a lot of people in there. And I went with my girlfriend at the time and some of her friends. And so there's different comedians coming up. You know, they do their 10 minutes or something. They get off. It was funny, whatever. Then this one guy goes up. He's got this fucking like long ass scroll, right? And he looks a little bit off, right? I'll give you that, right? But I'm like, okay, maybe he's like super smart and he's got this like whole plan, right? So then he starts like reading the scroll. So I'm thinking this is part of his thing, but apparently it wasn't just a comedy show. It was like a open mic thing. So like it could be a poem or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't highly aware of this though, right? So he's reading this scroll and it's about the story that he wrote about like him and his brother, and the paper just keeps
Oh.
going down, right? And he's talking about how he like something about his brother, and like they used to like fart on each other and like something like that. And it's this whole fucking thing. And I'm fucking dying laughing because I'm like, this guy is a fucking genius. This is hilarious, right? Dying laughing. Lo and behold, I'm like the only one fucking laughing, right?
Oh.
Ah, man. The guy ended up having Asperger's, right?
Oh.
And he says it in the thing too. But I'm like,
It
Asperger's. It didn't click in the
click.
middle of this, right? And my friends are like, he's got Asperger's. I was like, oh, you're a fucking Asperger, right? I'm thinking Asperger.
Asperger.
Like he's eating ass. Because he's
Oh my
talking about
God.
shit like that, right? And yeah, that's how. And then later on, my girlfriend had to come up to me and be like, Joe, that guy has Asperger's. I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean? And then she proceeded to tell me, and I said,
Oh.
makes sense why I was saying those things, but it was still funny as fuck. I don't give a fuck. To this day, it was funny. He was talking about like fucking like farting on it. He would jump over onto the bunk bed or something, and like jump up and like sit on his face and like fart on him. And
My thing is this though, is that I mean, just because he has Asperger's, like, what if he actually did mean for it to be funny?
maybe he wasn't laughing though. You know, but I thought that was part of it. He was so straight faced,
Right.
right?
He's right. I mean, that's that like that. What do they call that? That's a bid. Right?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit.
That's a bit.
Yeah,
I just stuttered so hard with that, but
I was the only one that thought it was a bit. I think there was a couple other people laughing because I was laughing. Are you embarrassed of me now?
no, I'm not embarrassed of you. But again, I guess my head goes to like, right, like I think people. I mean, man, I've had so many patients who have Asperger's, and because in my mind, I'm like, what if he did actually mean for it to be like a dry kind of thing, right? But then he says he has Asperger's, and everyone's like, oh, you know.
It
When
could
it's
be,
like,
could have been.
meanwhile, like I've actually worked with tons of people who have Asperger's who literally like will present something like that, and I will like crack up in session, but they're actually being funny. Like they know that they're being funny, but they don't have like so
Straight
much of
face,
the
yeah.
expression, right? So I mean,
I may have made that kid's life. He
if
may
in
think
the
about that
event,
now and be
if
like,
in the event that he was actually
he
meaning
may
for it to
still think
be,
about that. That's how I'm going to think about it.
well, I wouldn't rationalize it like that.
So am I going to justify? Well, there's no justifying it, but it was hilarious. It is what it is, you know. I just looked like an idiot in front of my girlfriend's friends at the time. So,
But again, I think my point
whatever.
I think my point is that
They're smarter
nobody
than me.
really knew where he was going with that. I think people heard him say he has Asperger's,
So
and
they
then
quickly
everybody was like, "Vroom."
like, whoa, okay, he's
Right,
trying
if
to be.
anything, and didn't know because
Mm.
again, their ability to really show any kind of expression sometimes or make eye contact is kind of like limited.
Yeah, I think I was in the right.
Well, we're not going to say that. I don't know. All right, let's wrap up.
Yeah. I mean, so do you feel like you like this setup?
I like the setup way more than
it's pretty cool.
before. I could talk for a long time like this, but now
Yeah. It's been a while.
I feel like my glands are like getting swollen.
Plus, yeah, Soul's up there.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her, so maybe she went
They're
to
probably
sleep.
painting or something.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging in there with the chaos of parenting that also hit the fan. But we will see you after the holiday.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you. Bye.
Bye. How do I shut this?